You shouldn't have killed my mom and squished my Walkman. Welcome to the Sunday Movie Marathon. It's me, Max.
It's me, not Max, but Chris.
What?
Darcy.
Oh,
What's
baby,
happening?
we're coming at you. We're fucking one of the ones to end it all. Episode 121. It's gonna be crazy. How are we today, guys?
Yeah, vibing.
Do you know what? I swear every week you say, how's it going? And Chris always goes, yeah. And then just feels like he has to follow up with like
It's
a word.
Friday vibes.
It is true. This is actually like the first weekend I've quote unquote had off in a while, so to speak.
Feeling good.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Actually, no, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not actually.
Oh. Trust you to turn the best situation into
Yeah.
something horrendous and like a chore.
I mean, Sunday will be nice, I think.
Sunday will be nice.
Sunday will be nice.
Why? Because this episode comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, why for real?
Oh, because
that's not a real reason.
Because I don't actually have any plans on Sunday. I don't have to do anything.
Oh, cool.
I don't have to go anywhere.
Can't remember a day I had
Do anything.
anything like that.
Mm.
Bygone days of the past. I don't remember. Don't even remember what it was like.
What, just had to have a day to do nothing?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
Maybe I
now
should
that
take
you
one.
mention it, yeah. to be
Yeah,
honest.
maybe.
Mm.
Nah. Then what would get done? Nothing.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Mm.
Chris was going to talk about Mario, but he didn't want to.
He's backed out of it like
He
a...
backed out of it like a
It's
coward.
bad.
Yeah.
Like a... Huh?
It's
Top level
bad.
thoughts? It's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of the better Illumination movies, but that doesn't say a lot because it's still cringe.
No. What was that song people sing?
Peaches.
Why? Is that good?
No, it's awful. It's just like a catchy meme, so everyone's like, oh yeah, the Peaches one.
I thought this was supposed to be good. I thought this was supposed to be a good movie.
Yeah, a lot of people are loving it.
Yeah, like
I don't-
when
Oh,
I
they
said to
finally
my,
made
yeah,
something good.
I've said to my friend Hannah turned to me and said, "Oh, I heard Chris has seen the Mario movie. What did he think of it?" And I was like, "He said it's shit." And she turned to me, looked me dead in the eyes, and said, "I hate him so much." So
It was just cringe.
it's because
It was
right.
cringe.
Do you know what I think it is? Every single movie we've spoken about that we absolutely hate, she's really liked, like Cruella and Shang-Chi, just to name two.
I didn't hate Shang-Chi.
It happens
Nah.
every time.
My biggest problem with the Mario movie is it just moves too quickly.
Yeah.
It feels like they had a script. Like they had a script and they were like, oh, this is too long. How do we cut stuff out? And they
ChatGPT,
just like
cut this down.
they just
Mm.
chucked it in a shredder and just like glued a few pages together.
Yeah.
So it just like feels so disjointed. It just like skips past really important details and just moves at like 1,000,000 miles a second. I like genuinely thought it was like showing too fast.
Oh yeah, didn't you say that it relies on you knowing about Mario before you watch it?
Oh yeah, if you don't know anything about Mario, you'll probably have no clue what's going on.
What's to know?
That's what
He's a
I was
plumber.
thinking, but
Yeah.
I don't know if there's
He's a
like
little-
some sort of
he's a
backstory.
little
or
Italian
whatever.
plumber guy. Jumps on mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, does it
He
not?
got like lore.
Yeah, does it actually go into anything? Because I don't really know anything about him.
Not really. It's more like the characters are like Princess Peach and like Bowser and stuff like that. They just kind of like, it's like playing like a game that's like the 20th in the franchise where everything's already established and it's just going along as if you know everything already.
Yeah, we don't need to set anything up. You know who Mario is.
Yeah.
That's probably what they were thinking. They were like, it doesn't even matter.
He's the guy. He's the Italian plumber. You know him. You've all played Mario Kart. You understand.
That is true. Most people have played Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That was
There is a Mario Kart scene in the movie
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
I feel like that
Ooh,
has to
fun.
be there, right?
where like all like the good guys are like, we need to go to the Bowser's kingdom to save Luigi, and they're all in carts for some reason, and Take On Me starts playing as they go along the Rainbow Road.
Take on me.
Yeah,
Wow. I think we've all learned something today.
that we have.
How was Chris Pratt?
Mm.
Oh yeah, pretty shit.
Oh,
Does he do a really bad Italian American
Yeah,
accent?
yeah, he sounds like a character from like Goodfellas or something.
Goodfellas is cool.
I expect
Yeah.
nothing less though, because
Or like The Sopranos
know.
or something like that, where it's like really over the top.
Mm.
But
Almost
it-
like that like pizza guy in The Simpsons.
oh right, but like, is Mario actually meant to be Italian or is he Italian American? Okay.
Now you got Charlie Day who's just doing his normal voice. He didn't even try.
Great.
Wait, so
Well,
wait, he's Luigi though, isn't he?
Yeah.
How does that work then? Is Luigi
like
just
Mario, but different.
just not Italian?
It's like Mario,
at
but
all?
green. Sound greener.
Yeah. But he
Does it
just
really?
has his normal voice.
I
Well,
love that though. Like, respect to it. Like, I'm
What
not
can you
gonna
do?
lie.
Actually kind of suits Luigi, to be fair. Whereas Mario just sounds really weird.
these guys are not voice actors, you know.
No.
No, that's the problem. They need to kind of. I mean, Hollywood in general need to stop doing this just because they
Yeah.
know it will fill
It's a lot of
seats.
like big names like
Yeah,
Seth
they need to stop
Rogen and
doing
Jordan
it.
Peele and or
Yeah.
maybe I can't remember it's Jordan Peele or
Key.
Key.
I think it's Key.
Maybe.
Is it one of them or both of them?
It's one of them.
Then it's Key.
That is true.
Mm.
No, there must be some sort of like scientific reasoning behind that.
What?
That if it's
That
one
they
of
chose.
yeah,
him.
like if it's just one of them.
They probably chose Key because he
like-
was free.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
if it's just one of them, it's got to be right because Peele's too busy making movies and
Peel's too busy making the next banger.
yeah.
Yeah. Anya Taylor-Joy is Peach. She's all right.
Yeah,
You
Jack
can't
Black's
really
in it,
tell who
remember?
it is. Just
Mm.
fair enough.
she's fine. Jack Black is actually really good. He's like clearly having a really good time with it.
He's probably
He's like the best bit of the movie because he's like
Wow.
you can tell he's like having a great time.
yeah, but he loves that kind of shit, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Like,
he's a
Yeah.
huge Mario fan.
yeah.
You see him at that press event or whatever where he was dressed up as Bowser.
Yeah.
That was
That's
great.
incredible. Why that just gave me like these horrible flashbacks to the gala Met thing.
The Met Gala.
Yeah, where Jared Leto's dressed as a giant cat.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know why
I
that
saw
just
that.
reminded me of that. Yeah,
Wasn't sure what to think of that.
it's something to do with the theme of the Met Gala about Karl
Furries.
Lagerfeld, isn't it?
Yeah.
What?
The designer,
Wow.
some German guy, I think.
Say, oh, I know who that is.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I said that. Like, so, like, I know who he is,
Thought
but
you were
I
talking
didn't
about
expect
a
other people to
brewery
know.
or something.
Oh God.
Carlsberg Lagerfeld.
But yeah, Mario movie. No.
No, did
Cool.
you say no?
No.
And you thought we'd have nothing to talk about.
Man,
Well, what
Better than Minions Rise of Gru though.
are you
Uh,
gonna rate it out of peaches, please?
Two peaches out of 10.
All right, there we go.
I just really wanted to hear him say peaches because I know he hates it.
You hate the word peaches.
Yeah.
He does now.
That song
Haven't had a
was,
peach since.
Yeah. It's traumatized me.
I thought Call Me By Your Name would be the one to do it. Nope.
Oh my God.
If anything, I was thirstier for peaches.
Ooh.
But that's all right.
No.
Thanks, Mario. Thanks, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
He was
Speaking
in
of-
he was in another movie that we saw recently. Me and Chris, at least. Darcy didn't. Too busy. Too busy. The new Guardians of the Galaxy movie,
Oh.
directed by James Gunn, director of those other ones and some more. Starring Chris Pratt as the main Guardians of the Galaxy in the first one, but then they were like, what if it was about
Mm.
these other guys also? So it's about, the raccoon in this one. And it's 2.5 hours long and not a second is wasted. This one's actually good.
It doesn't feel like it at all.
No, it doesn't. They made a bunch of shit. Not the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, just Marvel. And then they were like, oh, here you go, have Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And they're like, yeah, we're back on it now. We're back. See, the MCU is good again. But it's not because of that. It's because of James Gunn, I think. And because
Oh, yeah,
he knew
definitely.
what he was doing.
Yeah, for me, it's like I'd already like kind of sworn off the MCU, but like this was like the one I was looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's out. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to watch any more of these.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think I will. I didn't watch those other ones. Was it Ant-Man?
Quantumania.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I've not seen Eternals.
Oh, Eternals was great.
Yeah.
You should watch that. I was just thinking about that poster for the Eternals that had just like
Oh, what, the random man? on
some
it?
guy on it. It was like Kumail's sidekick. Yeah. This one, I don't know what you thought about like the overall tone, but I found it to be very. It's very strange and like a weird departure from most of the Marvel movies I've seen. But I kind of welcomed it because it felt like it actually had stakes.
Yeah.
It felt like when things happen to the characters, you were like, oh no, not the characters. It starts off and like Will Poulter comes in because he's, you know, the golden god Adam, Warlock, whatever he's called.
Yeah.
And then they send after him. That scene, like it just starts and it just comes in immediately. And, you know, full spoilers for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If you haven't seen it yet, who cares? Just go and see it. What are you doing? Everybody who wants to see it has seen it already. So he comes in, he's like, and then he just beats the shit out of everyone. I'm like, this is really violent. This is like, the hits feel like palpable. Whereas in the other ones, bar like maybe that new Spider-Man one, that felt quite real in terms of like, when you saw characters being hit, it felt like they were being hit. In this one, it felt like they were being hit. And then when like the whole thing kind of hinges on like, oh, he hit Rocket a bit too hard and now he's dying and it's all about Rocket. I was like, damn. He's like clearly learned a bit from like doing the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And like knowing what to show in a 12-rated movie that still feels weirdly violent.
Yeah, he like really stretches like the limit of that rating.
Mm-hmm.
Drop the first the first F-bomb in the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah. You heard what he said, right? I'm not.
I slipped up and said M-bomb.
Oh, I thought. Okay. Yeah, he says the F-bomb. He says fuck. Chris Pratt says fuck. That was good. Actually got a laugh at me.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
where did that come from?
Fucking hell. People crying on the internet, like, oh, you used it. No. But I felt like tone-wise, it was going for like, it's still like a comedy, ultimately, but it's also like this weird drama about like animal abuse. And I was like, what? This is weird. But I appreciate them going for that, because it is like, this is something different. I want something different from these movies at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't like what they've been doing with their more consistent movies. I don't really think they're all that interesting to watch. But this one, it's like sad.
Yeah.
It's like weirdly sad.
Yeah, I think James Gunn, he was like heavily inspired by like his like turn to becoming a vegetarian. And like you can see that a lot in this movie.
Yeah, definitely. What about the animal abuse and abusing the animals? Did you like Rocket's like little animal family?
Oh, that was horrible.
Tears you
I
apart.
think like every time they're on screen, I was crying. It was horrible.
I didn't look around to see who else was crying. I didn't cry, but I was like nearly there. Fucking, you can't get me like this. You can't just like show animals being horrendously abused.
It was like that scene where they're all laying on the floor, like coming up with each other's names that like really killed me.
God, yeah. I think it was what got me, or what would have got me. It was when they all died.
Yeah, that was really sad.
He just like starts crying. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? You can't do this. He's a good villain as well to like do that with.
Oh, he's such a good villain.
Probably the best one in recent memory.
Yeah, I'd say one of like the best in the entire MCU.
If I discount like ones from the Spider-Man movie where they just pulled a bunch of villains from other movies. Yeah, he was really good. What's his name? I don't even remember. But he had this like fucking RoboCop pull face vibe going to him. They were clearly going. I think they reference RoboCop.
Yeah, they do. He's like the Grand Inquisitor, I think it is.
Yeah. He was good. You really fucking hated him because he just abused a bunch of animals. I guess that's like an easy cop-out. You're like, yeah, and this guy abuses animals. But he still puts on a good performance so you understand like why he's a bastard.
And he actually like has like reasons why he's doing what he's doing. It's not like, I'm evil, I want to take over the world.
Yeah, I watched the other two recently as well. And the first one with Ronan, he's just like that blue guy in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. He's got nothing going on.
No, not really.
He has nothing going on. Nothing to him whatsoever.
Even Kurt Russell in the second one doesn't have loads going on.
Well, I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I like him.
He does have the same and I'm going to take over everything.
Yeah.
But they go at it from a pretty interesting viewpoint, in my opinion. But yeah, it felt like everyone was like really enjoying it as well. And it's like it definitely has that wider appeal because it's the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But I wonder who like got out of it and they were like, I don't like that. That was sad.
Yeah, probably a lot of people.
Yeah. That's not what I thought I was going to get into. What the hell? It made me upset.
Yeah.
I don't like being upset.
I think overall it just feels like a lot more mature than the other two. Like, especially like in the like comedy department. Like I love those other two movies, but a lot of the humor can be quite like silly and almost childish at
got
points.
their Marvel humor.
Yeah.
They have a brand.
Whereas this one, it like feels much more like well written and thought out, and definitely much more mature, I think.
It probably came off of like the Suicide Squad and was like, see how well that did.
Yeah.
Everybody really liked that. And it's not babies and children going to these movies. And primarily, I don't think. I think, we're adults and we go, or a bunch of adults in the cinema. So why not cater to them just a little bit? Because they're your numbers.
What did you think of the soundtracks? Obviously, the music's a big part of these movies.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. I've got to look that up, actually. What was in the soundtrack? Because I thought it was very good.
There's a lot of great songs. Like it starts off with "Creep" by Radiohead, which was actually used really well.
I wish that was like Chris is gonna cream.
Yeah, I don't even really like that song that much, but it was used in a really a good way.
Yeah, but apparently it's made a resurgence. That song, hasn't it? "Do You Realise" by the Flaming Lips was played at one point, and that's a great song.
My favorite till Brooklyn.
Yeah, that was great.
That was used very well.
Yeah, my favourite one's "Dog Days Are Over" at the end. That was so good.
That was brilliant. I was like, holy shit, a Florence and the Machine song. That was like, I was so into that album when it came out.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Desperately into it. So just hearing that song come on at like a point of massive triumph, and they basically have like it ends with like a dance sequence. It was like, that's not how I thought this would end, but I really enjoy it. Alice Cooper in that Faith No More, We Care a Lot. I fucking love that.
That was great.
That was probably the best used. That or Dog Days Are Over, I thought it was like really good. I felt like I was the only one going, oh my fucking God, it's Faith No More.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It was awesome. Yeah, really good music. What do we think of like the return of Gamora as a character? I thought this could go one of two ways.
Yeah, I thought they handled it really well. Like I think he kind of got dealt a bit of a shit hand the way they like basically took that character and like gave her this arc in like other movies. But I think he did a really good job of like adapting to that and creating something completely different out of it.
Yeah, who knows what he would have done with her. Honestly, as a character, we just won't know.
They kind of do a really good job of like making it almost like this breakup arc of like him trying to get over her.
That was sad. Yeah, with it comes a lot of comedy, I think, but it's also like, oh man, just see this character grow over the course of 2 movies, well 3 basically, and then she's like ripped away. She's somewhat different now. I don't know. I liked how they kind of ended it as well. There wasn't like a reconciliation in the sense that like now she remembers, or because she was a completely different person.
I was worried that they were gonna like force them to get together and they'd like pretend like nothing had happened. But I thought they did a really good job of them kind of accepting and moving on.
Yeah, I like that kind of thing at the end of that Spider-Man movie as well. It was like you think it's gonna go one way and they'll fix everything, but actually it doesn't really fix it. Sometimes I don't want a movie to completely fix everything, and I want characters to end like somewhere vastly different to where they began. That's an arc, But I think the way they ended, I think they're not doing any more of these. I think that's the last one.
Yeah, I think Marvel are planning on doing a Star-Lord film or something with him in it. But
yeah, you see the post credits.
No, I watched the first one, but not the second one. First one where it's like all of them on the planet, like fighting the new baddies.
Yeah, the second one, if you don't mind me spoiling it.
Yeah, no, I know what happens.
Yeah, he basically goes back to Earth, sees his grandfather, and they just like eat cereal or whatever, and then it says Star-Lord will return. I was like, oh, he will return. Okay. Usually it will say Guardians of the Galaxy will return. Yeah, but it's just him, so I guess they'll do his own thing. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I like Chris Pratt in the role.
Yeah. Yeah, I do as well. I don't think James Gunn's involved anymore. Obviously, he's doing all the DC stuff now.
We'll see what they do with it then. Maybe if it's not him, then it won't be as good. But
yeah, I'm kind of cautious.
Yeah, a bit trepidatious, but we'll see. I'll probably see that. It depends who's directing it as well.
Yeah.
If it is, it's a film and not like a TV series.
I don't think they've really said what it's going to be. So,
It
knowing
might be a show.
yeah, knowing them, it probably will be a show.
Well,
In which case, I definitely won't watch it.
no point. I haven't been keeping up with those shows.
Has anyone?
She-Hulk and fucking whatever they're doing these days.
I have no idea.
Yeah. You got anything more to say on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
Not off the top of my head.
No. Do you like... Oh, sorry. I might as well just reel off a bunch of shit that I like. You like that hallway scene where they do that one shot and they're all fucking...
Yeah, that was fun.
Killing everything. Oh, so good. So fucking good. And I like Will Poulter as Adam as well.
Yeah, he was really good.
Who I thought was going to be like the main villain because they tease him at the end of the second one. But he's kind of like just this guy who doesn't really know what's going on. He's just been pointed at the Guardians as kind of a weapon by Elizabeth Debicki. But I like his arc and sort of what he goes through. I think he ends up in a very satisfying place by the end of it. He kind of redeems himself. But he's a funny guy, Will Poulter.
Yeah, I really like him as well.
Yeah, great character. I hope I see more of him, but so I don't know what they could really do with him. I like what we got of him in this movie, but he's got charisma, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got charisma. So, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. The new one. What are we going to rate it out of?
Raccoons.
Cool, thanks, Rocket.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bradley Cooper. Fucking doing a real one.
Yeah.
Great performance.
Yeah, I love these Guardians of the Galaxy movies. They're like by far my favourite stuff in the MCU. Rocket's like my favourite character as well, so to see him get like basically his own movie was really great. Thought they did a fantastic job of closing it all up. Quite possibly my favourite MCU movie. I'll have to watch it again. Maybe I'll feel differently on the second time, but I think I'm feeling like a really strong 9 raccoons out of 10.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. 9 raccoons out of 10. I think it might be the best one in the MCU. Although, again, I'd have to watch it again. It's like up there with the second one for me. They're both really good.
Great movies.
And the first one's really good as well. Despite its kind of low bar villain. But, they get past that, I think. And in this one, they're firing on all cylinders. So, what's not to love? Great. That's that one then. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. We're just getting into the marathon. Don't think there's anything else really, is there?
Let's get into the marathon. We did a marathon. A real one this time, where we watched them all in one go. We did a free-for-all. So we just picked some movies and we watched them. And they were Rushmore, Cameraperson, and EO. E-I-E-I-O. What was Rushmore about, Chris? You picked that one. Tell us.
Yeah. So Rushmore, directed by Wes Anderson from 1998. Film's about a young teenager called Max who falls in love with a first grade teacher at his school. At the same time, he becomes friends with the father of 2 of his schoolmates, who also grows feelings for her, grows this weird love triangle sort of thing. A lot of rivalries going on, a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah. Good movie. Good Wes Anderson one. One of his early ones, I guess. Seen it once before. Thought maybe my opinion would change. Probably liked it a bit more this time around. I think it's a good movie. I like, Jason Schwartzman as the main guy, Max. Kind of a dick the whole time, but by the end he learns, maybe I shouldn't be a dick, and he has his whole dick arc.
The way he does. Yeah, I fucking love this movie so much. It's one of my favourite Wes Anderson movies. It's only his second movie, but you can tell he's kind of really coming into his own as a director. Very early on, he's working with a lot of his regulars for the first time, like Bill Murray and Jason Schwartzman. I think
so young.
Yeah, he's like a teenager in it. But I think visually he's doing a lot of really interesting creative stuff that in his debut Bottle Rocket he didn't really do. You can just kind of tell he's trying to like find this unique voice that he's got, and I think he does a great job of like experimenting and kind of honing it.
Yeah, they talk like people in this movie.
Yeah.
Whereas in his later ones, maybe they don't all that much.
Yeah, I think this is one of the ones that was co-written by Owen Wilson. I think when he stopped writing with Owen Wilson, that's when it became a bit like more what you would expect from him.
Yeah, I think he's definitely coming into his own in this, whereas, you know, you got like the central frame of everything very meticulous in terms of the mise en scène, and people talk. Well, I don't know. They're definitely like more so in his later movies where they talk very like they're just like reeling off a list of things. But in this, you get more like a character, and like these people kind of exist a bit more. Or like these are people you can meet in real life.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think that too much about more of his later stuff.
Yeah, like French Dispatch or something. No one really feels like a character. They just kind of all feel like an extension of his writing and his style.
Yeah, that's sort of what they were going for in that, though.
Yeah,
well.
yeah, it works.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like a problem. It's just, yeah, a different style of filmmaking, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of it, Darcy? You've been very quiet.
I know. I don't know. I've just been staring at the Works website for ages because I had to update it today, and I don't know why, but it just completely threw me off the fact that we were actually talking to each other.
Yes.
Like, I know it's 1996. I'm putting the laptop away. So I've seen it before, and I think I think I liked it more this time round than the first time. But I think it's because this is the debut, isn't it? The first one.
His second movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had Bottle Rocket.
yeah,
that's his first one.
I mean, it definitely comes into his own within like these next couple of movies and stuff. And I don't know. I think it does set like the sort of tone of a Wes Anderson movie, which I quite enjoy. And not to mention, I keep thinking about Brand New every time I see this movie now, so I like that and hate that at the same time.
Yeah, there's that line, Sick Transit Gloria, Glory Fades, which the band Brand New named a song after. We've also got Tell That Mickey Made My List of Things to Do Today, which is a Fall Out Boy song.
Yeah, it's...
That's great.
I think that I like the film a lot, actually, because it has like similar themes to like kind of like more gross-ish films, you know, like a Licorice Pizza and stuff, where like it's icky, weird.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, why would you want to do that kind of thing? But
she shoots them down constantly.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
She wants to be completely platonic because she does like she likes him.
There's some sort of awareness to all of this, right? Like, just what I appreciate. But yeah,
he thinks he's a bit too big for his boots. Did you get those kids for like when you were in school who they thought they were the teacher's friends?
Yeah,
because they were like they felt like they were really mature.
Yeah,
he's like one of those.
Yeah, he comes across to me as someone who's like he acts like he's mature because he's, you know, quite smart and you know,
does
I mean,
like extracurriculars.
Yeah, like
he's not that smart. Well, because he doesn't study, but he's like smart in terms of like he'll do a bunch of stuff outside of school and he's part of all these extracurriculars and the president of all these extracurricular
yeah, like
activities.
he's got those like sort of skills that you would kind of admire.
Yeah,
in someone of that age as well. Yeah, he's pretty. Yeah,
I think he's like a very intelligent person, but he doesn't apply himself in that sort of way because it doesn't interest him.
I think that like the whole character though is kind of like, yeah, he's got all these like great qualities and stuff, but he seems like he's mature, but he's not mature. Like he's very immature.
Yeah,
and I understand he's only, how old is he? 15.
Yeah,
15. Like, and it shows, right? Like I know, I think that's kind of the whole point. Is like, oh, this is this smart guy who like can't apply himself because he's always getting in trouble and he's got kicked out of school, and then he rebels and does all this other kind of teenage shit that teenagers do. And he's like, oh, I'm so mature, I could totally be with this like 35-year-old woman who totally loves me. And it's like delusional. But I kind of like it in a weird way because it's very reminiscent of, let's be honest, we were all kind of like that ourselves when we were younger, or at least I certainly fucking was.
Like, I thought older than we were. Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought I was like...
No, I'm very mature for my age. If you're 15 years old and you're saying, I'm very mature for my age...
You're not.
You're not.
No.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you don't learn that until you're much older, don't you? Because you're almost like set in your ways at that point. Well, not set in your ways, but like because you're younger, you haven't developed the skills to realise that you're stupid at that age, right?
And
like
don't let adults tell you that you're mature for your age, because that is a red flag.
Yeah, that's really weird, like grooming type behaviour.
I think he's just like a very cocky, kind of angsty sort of teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but who won't?
I guess.
Like it's weird because he's relatable in the same amounts that he's not relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like there are loads of people who are never president of a extracurricular. Most people didn't even go to their extracurricular.
No.
I never joined
went.
anything. I think I did basketball up until I was about 12, and then I never went ever again. So like,
Yeah, I didn't apply myself enough.
Oh, neither did I. But
well, I did like gymnastics and drama for a fairly long time.
Drama,
but that's like
something.
that's it. I think.
Nah, I was just.
I don't do any of that shit now.
Yeah, I was just always told that I had potential, quote unquote.
Oh god.
Yeah, like
Dreaded word.
Yeah, and I'm like,
dreaded.
Well, yeah, it's just one of those, isn't it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It is one of those films that is kind of relatable, but then that's kind of why I love and hate high school, quote unquote, movies. Because there's like,
there's a fine line.
Yeah.
It has to be done right.
It makes you cringe a little bit as well, because then it takes you back to a time where you were like, oh, if only I could just shake myself and say that I was a prick.
I think this is one of the best of its kind because it's not like trying to follow
different.
it's not trying to follow the standard like high school stuff that you'd expect.
It's its
no
own
like
formula.
Yeah.
It's no American Pie, is it?
No, but it is very relatable in a sense that's like I don't think that I relate to like him as a character or what he's doing. But we were all in school and we all went through these sorts of feelings
that's what
at one point or another.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like that's what I meant by he's relatable, but he's also not relatable.
Yeah.
Like we were all 15 once, but not all of us were like this kid.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why he's like one of my favourite characters in a Wes Anderson movie. And I think a lot of that just stems down to the fact that I can picture myself feeling a lot of the things he's feeling and feeling that same like sense of rebellion and kind of not wanting to be like follow down like the scholastic sort of curriculum that they expect you to, kind of wanting to do my own shit.
Yeah. That was quite the word to pull out.
Yeah.
Scholastic. It reminds me of those books, you know, the scholastic books.
Nerd! Maybe you are like him.
How dare you not read
I probably used it in the wrong context as well.
No, it's there.
Nah, Biff and the Magic Keywords.
Scholastic.
Yeah, scholastic. Do you know what? I'm have to look
You can
that
throw
word.
the word academic out of the window.
Yeah, scholastic.
Yeah, that probably would have been a better word.
No, don't worry about it.
Scholastic.
Use the right one. I was like, I should spend more time trying to score chicks. It's not my forte, unfortunately.
There's a lot of good lines in it.
There are some great lines. I guess we both have dead people in our families. What happened to your face? I got punched in the face. What's your excuse?
Some of that stuff.
Is that
I saved Latin. What did you ever do? It's like one of the best ones.
There's that line that friend of the podcast Kai loves. Anytime I bring up this movie, he quotes it, where he's like, we're on a like dinner date accidentally with like Luke Wilson, and like he's wearing OR scrubs, and he says that they're OR scrubs, and Max goes, "Oh, are they?" And then just starts laughing.
You know,
That is. I didn't pick up on that, to be honest.
That's how good it was.
Yeah.
Just flies over the radar. I really like Bill Murray in this as well.
Oh yeah,
It's
he's
like
really
the first
good.
time he's worked with Wes Anderson. I think he pulls it out of the bag. He's like a really good character, Mr. Bloom. He's very lonely, I think.
Yeah, he's like going through a midlife crisis.
He is fucking going through it.
Yeah.
He hates his kids. He likes this one kid who's like his only friend, and he's in love with his teacher. It's just like he goes through this like really lonely arc, where by the end I think he's a bit more put together, or he's trying to get there.
Yeah, she's my Rushmore. That's my favourite line in the whole movie.
I like that line. Yeah,
It's so good.
I'm
I
a
get a
little bit
little
lonely these
teary-eyed
days.
every time he says it.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm a little bit lonely these days.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man.
I like how
It takes a lot to admit that as well.
I do
but
like
he's
the fact
like-
that he becomes unhinged.
It's completely fucked
Yeah.
up.
It's like lines like that you can really tell it's like the same guy who did Royal Tenenbaums.
Mm-hmm. You know, like I love that scene where he like jumps into the pool as well. He just like goes onto the diving board,
Yeah.
and jumps in and stays in.
Like Rocket Man.
Yeah.
He just sits at the bottom of the pool. I really like that scene actually. He does a lot of weird shit, to be honest.
Who? Where's that?
No, like
Oh.
Bloom as a character.
Oh.
Bill
yeah.
Murray, where he's like, what is that where like he like approaches, is it the teacher or someone in like a playground or something? He talks to her a bit, and he like walks away towards the trees, and then he starts running towards the trees.
Yeah, it's such a weird.
It's framed so well that you couldn't. The comedy is in how it's framed and how he's running. You couldn't like follow him with the camera because that wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's like stock still, the frame is still.
It's 'cause
That's
you need
what
to
makes.
see
That's
it,
what
right?
imbues it with the comedy, and I think
Yeah.
he's like really good at putting comedy in. Wes Anderson, he's really good at putting comedy in where it maybe wouldn't have been comedic if he hadn't framed it exactly how he framed it, or like,
Yeah.
if it hadn't sounded exactly how it sounded.
He is a master of visuals, I think. That's like probably his strongest suit. Obviously, like that film directed by Wes Anderson, AI things like all over the internet at the moment, like loads of different things.
Is it? What?
Yeah.
What?
Like different films, and like people have like put films into AI and said if it was directed by Wes Anderson.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, that there's
And it's
that,
just like all like characters like just symmetrically framed, staring at the camera and
I was
shit.
thinking of the TikTok trend.
Yeah,
that's
it's
going
on
around at the
TikTok as well.
moment.
It's on
Yeah.
Twitter.
I
It's all
just
over. the
googled
place.
Wes Anderson AI, and it came up with the top story. Please stop using AI to make Wes Anderson parodies.
Yeah.
It's
like,
got
it's-
to that stage.
I think like one of his staple things is like the AI things keep showing like that very like static sort of look. But I love how in this film and a lot of his other ones, he like every once in a while will cut to like handheld, like shaky cam to like really add tension. And it's such like a subtle switch that you probably wouldn't notice unless you're like really looking out for it. But it like does such a good job of like subconsciously adding so much tension to the scene.
Yeah, like when they start throwing eggs at Max.
Yeah.
God, that was tense. That was a
like,
great scene.
You
Yeah.
are a trespasser.
You're a trespasser, yeah,
Yeah, like a good example of him using it in other movies like Royal Tenenbaums during that final climax where like Ben Stiller's chasing Owen Wilson around this house.
Oh yeah, he's good at that, man.
Yeah.
he is good at it. I do like him. He's a good one. Every time like he interacted with that girl, because he like gets expelled because he's so shit, and he does like weird shit with a teacher. Is that why he was expelled? Why was he expelled?
No, because
Because his grades sucked. Dong.
I thought it was because he was trying to make an aquarium in the middle of the baseball.
Yeah, that
field.
was
Right.
why. Yeah.
You made an aquarium. You tried to make an aquarium on the baseball field.
And he
Get
was
outta
like,
here.
he's like, we're going to relocate
Yeah.
the baseball field 300 yards away.
And then he goes
Like,
to this
what?
public school, and the only person who's nice to him, because he doesn't make it. She
He
like
really
pushes
doesn't,
away.
man.
Was it Margaret Yang?
Yeah.
Mm.
She just like keeps persisting. Like, let's hang out. Let's do something. I don't know. Like we could be friends. And he's like, no, I've got to go back to Rushmore. You guys suck. This place sucks. But I'm going to turn it around for you.
Oh, he's weird.
He's a weird one. But we all knew people like that.
Yeah.
We all knew weirdos like that. I like his friend as well, the little kid who
Yeah,
who he
yeah.
gives a haircut to.
Yeah, how old was his friend? Because I was like, how
Yeah, like 10 or
Yeah,
something. He's
like-
like really young.
But I didn't pick up on that until like way into the movie. I was like, wait a minute, this kid looks like he's about 9
Yeah.
years old. What is going on?
I really like the Scottish bully.
Oh,
He's really funny.
Oh, what? Gives of an M.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
same
guy.
Really-
What a cool guy.
Well, all he wanted really was to be in one of his plays.
Yeah.
I like that at the end where he's like, I always wanted to be in one of your shit plays.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it's good.
This whole movie I just find so like sweet and wholesome. It's like one of my comfort movies. Like anytime I'm feeling really shit, it just like picks me up.
Yeah, it's a bad day movie, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I really love the music as well. It like perfectly like follows the very angsty like rebellious nature of the movie, or at least the character of Max. They use a lot of like British invasion music from like the 60s, and it like really has this like great like rebellious tone, I think.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely like someone who I think feels a need to rebel, but only because he's quite insecure in himself as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he obviously is, especially like when he's always lying about what his dad does for a living as well.
My dad is a hero.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He cuts hair, and that's fine.
But like, I think it becomes really obvious though when he goes to dinner and he's like, "Oh, what are you wearing?" He's like, "These are OR scrubs," and it's like you should know that if your if your dad was a neurosurgeon, you would have seen them before.
Yeah, he gave up the game. Sadly,
He did.
Maybe his dad didn't bring his work home with him. Didn't want him to know
Maybe not
about the horrors.
He's a barber by day, OR surgeon by night.
Oh, are he?
Oh, are he? Indeedy.
I like how every once in a while they'll just show like the film transitioning to a different month with like these curtains with the month name on it.
I kind of found
That's
that
fun.
annoying.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah,
I think it's quite quirky.
the only thing
It's quirky, but I don't know what it added really.
the only thing I didn't really like about it was like how off-center all the writing was. Like every single time, it just drove me
I think
insane.
it makes sense. Like a big part of the movie is like how much he loves the theatre, like curtains, theatre.
Yeah, but why did the writing have to be so offhand?
Because it was on curtains and the curtains moved.
But speaking of which, he had the most beautiful handwriting I've ever seen of any human being. I know, obviously, it probably wasn't his actual handwriting, but not the point.
No.
Still beautiful.
I do appreciate some nice handwriting.
Yeah, I know. A little bit of calligraphy goes a long way.
Maybe that's something to practice.
Yeah,
It
maybe.
really is. Bad handwriting is just for doctors and for people who can't write.
Just to all the doctors out there, bad handwriting is not for you.
They always have bad
Don't
handwriting.
think that.
But it's quite funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go to a doctor.
Oh, well, they have really
I
terrible
don't know.
handwriting.
I don't even. Anytime I've been to a doctor, I don't think they've written anything down.
No. It's all like done on a computer nowadays.
Yeah, because they knew all their handwriting sucked.
Because no one can read
Print out
it.
your prescription on the printer. They ain't gonna write it. Nobody's gonna understand what it means. That's one of the tests to see if you can become a doctor.
Yeah, your handwriting has to be like piss
really
terrible.
bad. Is it legible? No.
You got the job.
You're in. You're in. Welcome to the world of medicine.
Sometimes I wonder if that's just because obviously they have like a lot of people to see, so they're just writing so quickly that the handwriting is just obsolete. But it's like a massive meme, isn't it? Like you see all these like memes of like people taking the piss out of doctors' handwriting because it's so bad.
Dirk was the kid's name. I really like the scene where like he writes Max a letter in crayon, basically telling him that Bloom was having an affair with the teacher. It was so funny, but it was like so like because he's trying to speak like an adult. It has that comedic edge to it, where like a child is talking like an adult. It's weird.
And written in crayon.
And it's written in crayon. Yeah, really good. How much money did they give him like at the end to make his play? That was high budget stuff.
In
man.
it, what was
it's like
that
going
all
through
about?
a war.
Jesus.
Fair play to him.
In it, that he took that budget and he didn't waste a single penny.
That play is really great.
It actually is.
So funny.
I don't understand any of it.
They gave that guy more money to make that play than they do the writers in the Writers Guild of America.
Yeah, that is true. Topical reference.
Yeah, there we go. Had to put it in somehow.
Yeah.
Just shoehorn that.
Keep striking, guys. You're nearly there.
Good for them.
Yeah, I hope that didn't come off as disingenuous. Like, keep doing it.
Yeah.
I can stomach having no movies for like
we
a
have
year
to disclaim that.
if they get paid, you know.
Yeah, someone should fucking pay them.
We got anything else to add to this one, or
did he ever make that aquarium?
No.
No, he did.
What?
He did.
But?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he did.
He got Bloom to open it because he wanted to get the teacher.
Yeah, he wanted her
to see it. So yeah,
and she didn't show up.
Yeah.
He spent like nearly all his money. He spent like millions on it.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, because he was like, I spent this many millions on it, and they're like, that's why you're a quitter or something like that. So stupid.
I really love that sequence where they're like basically just pulling pranks on each other.
Oh god,
That's such a funny bit.
that was so good. Just this old man and a teenage boy playing
Yeah,
pranks on
it's
each other. I was like, what are
It's
you
a little
doing?
bit weird, isn't
That
it?
like, escalates to him cutting the brakes on his car.
Yeah, oh my god. Like, what are you doing here? He was like, oh, I was hoping if you stood there, that tree would fall on you. He was like, oh, well,
He was like,
guess
that would
not.
have killed me.
That would have killed me. And then the tree falls over. Oh man, so good. That's good stuff. At the end, the brake cutting on his car. Oh my god. Jesus. Could have absolutely murdered him.
Such a funny movie.
It is funny. I'll
Mm.
probably get the Criterion at some point. You've won me over with this one, Chris.
Mm.
Good.
You
It
go.
looks
I think it is
beautiful on the Criterion.
Mhm.
You go.
Very lovely looking movie, as
Yeah.
are most of his movies. You know.
Yeah. They all need Criterion releases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do the new one and Isle of Dogs. And
Yeah. They're the
all
only
those.
two.
Yeah, those ones. Get
Mm.
them.
I think I've got all of them now except Fantastic Mr. Fox. I've not got around to getting that Criterion yet.
He's got an
Oh,
important.
it's a nice one.
No, it's out in the UK now.
Yeah, I've got it.
I've just not got around to it.
Yeah, I've got that one. That's really nice.
We legit
Really
need
nice one.
it.
Lovely little box it's in as well.
Yeah, it's cute.
Cool.
What are we rating out of?
Mix.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mix.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause he
mix.
says, tell that Mick he
I was
made my
thinking
list
of-
of things to do today.
I was thinking of mix, like cake box mix, and I was like, what?
Tell that Mickey just made my list of things to do today.
Yeah.
Oh, we're rating out of Fall Out Boy titles.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, this is, like I said, it's one of my like comfort movies. It's one of my favourite Wes Anderson movies. Not quite. I think Royal Tenenbaums and Grand Budapest are still above it.
Hmm.
But this is a movie I just love even more every time I watch it. Never fails to pick me up. It's just such a funny movie. I give it 10 mix out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, I think everybody's got a different favourite from Wes Anderson. He is that kind of director, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really good stuff. It's no Darjeeling Limited, but it'll do. 8 mix out of 10.
All Wes Anderson films are great. 8 mix out of 10.
Sweet. Thanks, Heather from Ipswich. What?
Record.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about Heather from Ipswich. And about the abhorrence of the new SATs for year 6.
Yeah,
Apparently they're not
madness.
going good, man.
Mad.
Apparently they're not going good.
Mad.
God, we're not still in school. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Just die. just
Yeah.
die. Rather that. They're crying in these tests, man.
Yeah.
So sad.
I'm glad I'm now working so I don't have to deal with that shit.
Yep. We're all working.
Yeah. I had to do a test at my job, but I aced it and now I don't have to ever worry about it again.
Jesus.
Good for you, my man. Good for
If
you.
my job asked me to do an exam, I'd quit.
I've had to do so many exams
Mm.
for different jobs that I've had.
And I love my job. But if they asked me to do a fucking test, I'd be out of there. I don't care what happened.
Yeah.
There's no way. I've gotten past that trauma. I've done my time. I've done it. There's nothing that could convince me to do another test. Those things are inhumane. Never do them again. We watched Cameraperson from
Oh, we did.
2016
Yeah.
by Kirsten Johnson. This was my recommendation. I got apparently an Oscar screener because that's the only way to do it. That's the only way to watch it. I've got a DVD. It was definitely supposed to be for the Oscars. Because
Yeah.
every so often it would flash for your consideration on the screen.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
kept saying, what the
The
bloody
first time
hell
it
is
came up, I was like, okay, this is interesting, like an interesting creative decision. Then the second time it came up, I was like, is this a screener?
What does she mean by this?
Yeah.
What is she doing?
it?
That's what I
I
thought.
didn't even
Hmm.
know. to
I
be
was like, oh,
honest.
she's going for something a bit like abstract here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought she was going for something like philosophical, like, you think about this.
Yeah.
This is something for you
Consider
to consider.
it.
Yeah, that's what I actually
Consider
thought.
this.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
This is
what's
for
it-
your consideration.
Mm.
And Cameraperson is just a series of videos strung together from Kirsten Johnson's time
Mhm.
in her life and career as a cinematographer. She was a cinematographer. She worked on a bunch of fucking movies. She's insane. You know, it's mostly cut in between these. It's got a very Sans Soleil type of vibe to it,
Yeah.
where it's just like this sort of meditative piece where she's going from like different places in different countries, and sort of interviewing people and seeing what they're doing for like jobs. Or she interviews one woman who's like a midwife in someplace. Someplace.
Yeah, it was like not. Like,
where does she go a lot?
A lot of like
Bosnia.
European places.
Yeah, Bosnia.
A lot of Bosnia places and a lot of places in New York.
New York.
Right, assume she lived.
I like the way.
But yeah, this was one of those where you just sort of watch it. It's not really got a plot. But all these clips are sort of saying something. They're sort of all there to sort of mull over. There's a lot of brutality in it. There's a lot of talk about the ethnic cleansing that happened in the Bosnian War, and that's
that is true.
heavily touched upon. So it's a quite heavy subject matter they're dealing with here, and it's all through her lens as a camera person. Well, it's called Cameraperson, I guess. Sort of when you think of like camera people, it's like they're the vessel that you see these things through, and they're trying to tell you a story, whether it's told in a narrative form or something else. But that is why I got heavy Sans Soleil vibes from it.
It kind of reminded me of that Glitterbug movie, the Derek Jarman one, because that was also kind of like a collection of like things that he filmed that weren't used for any of his movies.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this is, like a collection of things that she filmed, like aside from the documentary she was working on that maybe didn't get used or that she thought was interesting, kind of put it aside. But I definitely think this was put together in a much more meaningful way. Whereas that, although it was a good movie and really interesting, it did kind of feel just like a collection of random things. Whereas this, it actually feels like it's trying to say something. Everything that happens, it doesn't feel like she's just been like, oh, here's something I filmed, let's just chuck this in. It actually feels like it's got a purpose in what she's trying to say.
Yeah. And Glitterbug had it was like a posthumous release as well.
Yeah.
It's not really from Derek Jarman, like really. It was stuff that he filmed, but it wasn't edited, I don't think, by him.
No.
This was like, I don't know if she edited it, but it was definitely.
I think she did.
Yeah, well, there we go. It's like wholly a movie. And it is like, there are a few documentary that they use like the documentarian as the prime character, I think, where we are sort of viewing it from her own perspective. We see only what she films and how she wants it to be shown.
Yeah. You have a lot of documentaries where like the guy who's made it or the person who's made it is like heavily in the movie, like interviewing people and like, narrating it and stuff. Like she worked with Michael Moore, and like you see a couple clips that she filmed working on his film Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah, it's really interesting. They go through like a bunch of films that she worked on at the end, and the end credits.
Yeah, it's like all like films that she was filming when she got bits from the movie. It just keeps going.
Yeah, surface level thoughts. I found it really interesting. I really like this movie. Maybe it meandered a bit where I was like, I don't know, like, it's not going for a central thing, but maybe that was like something I kind of needed to bring it home in a sort of way that was like, no, this is what purpose it has. It has like a lot of different things going on at once. Where I feel I'll probably have to watch it again at some point. Sort of what happened with Sans Soleil by Chris Marker. When I watched that, I was like, wow, I didn't fucking understand a single thing that was going on in that.
Yeah, I think me and Darcy felt the same way.
What, not understanding it?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, but that's why I watched that again directly after I'd seen it the first time.
Oh, yeah, where they were like going around like Japan and...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this movie made more sense to me, but I think that's because it felt
it's less abstract.
Yeah, it felt very slice of life-esque. And I actually... At first I was kind of like, I don't really know what to expect of this because it's just clips of like people doing stuff. But then I was like, it's just clips of people doing stuff. And I was like, I love that kind of shit.
It's kind of like a memoir in a way. Like, kind of like loosely going through her experiences as a documentary filmmaker.
I just thought it was cool that, I don't know, like sometimes like, I'm such a freak. I was telling my dad about this not that long ago. He was like, sometimes I do that. But like, you ever like just sat, like, you just like see people in the street or you like sit on a bus or something and you just wonder what other people's lives are like. And this movie like scratched that itch a little bit. It was like, what are other people around the world doing at exactly the same time as you? And some of it's like really, really like tense and stuff, like with the midwife and the babies and stuff. And then some of it's just like the contrast in comparison. Like I'm laughing at this boxer who's like, oh my god, I should have won the match, and it's just like this baby nearly fucking died. Like who gives a shit about your problems? I don't know. I enjoy my slice of life.
That baby scene was pretty fucked up.
Oh my god, I was like, you know when you just don't breathe for a little while, and then the second that kid breathed, I was like, braved? I was like,
for a second I thought you Roma us.
Yeah, oh man, imagine. But no, you should have shown this midwife who was just like fucking killing it, clearly.
oh my,
Not
yeah,
kill, like in a literal sense,
like,
but like she was
Yeah,
a
she- no, she
really
was doing
good
the
midwife.
opposite.
She knew
She-
exactly what she was doing.
she was
I
like,
love seeing
oh,
stuff
God.
like that. It made me kind of jealous, honestly, watching all this stuff. I was
It
like,
was so
wouldn't you
cool,
just
wasn't
fucking,
it?
I kind of feel like this is like exactly what I would love to do, like go around the world and just like
Yeah.
film shit and like
Oh, what,
interview people and talk
see
to
other
different people. But then I ultimately think that I'm quite an introverted person. I don't know if I could pull that off really quite as well as she does.
I'd love to be a documentary filmmaker, but I'd have the same issue.
So I don't think I would have this issue. I think my issue would be like, it just isn't doable, is it?
Mhm.
Well, not
Well-
on the same scale that she's probably doing it. Like I can't just go to Bosnia
Well, I
and
think you've
film
got to build
someone,
yourself up,
but-
you know.
Mm.
I don't think she started by going all around the world.
No, but you know what I mean. Like it's some like I think I could just go up to people and ask them about
Mhm.
their day, but it's whether I would actually, I don't know whether I'd even find any like interesting content. Like I don't mind like the idea of me going up to other people and filming them, but like I hate the idea of, you know, when you go out in the street and like you see people like doing TikToks or vlogging or whatever. I get
vlogging.
secondhand like cringe because I'm like I could never just
No,
sit
I
in
wouldn't
front of
do
a
that.
camera and
You
like
see like those
talk to
TikToks of
myself.
like, or like the memes on Twitter and shit of like people going up to randomers on the street and asking them what song they're listening to and stuff like that.
Yeah, no.
That gives me like secondhand ick. I couldn't do that.
No,
That
but-
is
Or
that's
if like
cringe.
someone like came up to me
Yeah.
and asked me what song I was
Yeah.
listening to, I think I'd just walk off.
I think that's
Yeah.
like it's not quite in the same vein though, is it?
No,
Like,
I think
could
it's
you
like a
imagine if
different-
she had just
different context is like when we did media, did you do where like you had to go out onto the street and do vox pops, talk to the public?
Yeah, we never did any of that. We just pretended we did it.
Exactly.
We all went because we didn't have to like actually film anything. We
Yeah.
just like had to write down what we'd like asked people about. So we just went down to the canteen downstairs and just wrote just random shit,
Oh.
and no one questioned it.
I mean,
Really highly regimented that course.
Yeah.
They really got to us.
it
Yeah.
really got to her.
But that is the kind of thing where I'm like, if I had like the mental, I would have to mentally prepare myself so much. And I think that's obviously what she's done. And like she's prepared a bunch of questions and she's going around asking people loads of questions and doing these interviews, which I find really fascinating and interesting. Whenever anybody does something like that, I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, like,
This is like you're doing exactly what I would love to do.
like could you
if
imagine?
if I could, you know?
Like it's one thing to be able to like go up to someone and ask them like about their life or whatever, but then what if they give you a response that it's just like you don't know what to say, like that poor kid who was talking about how his brother got his like face blown off or whatever.
yeah.
And
That was
she's
so
just sitting
sad.
there crying, and she's like, I can't speak the language, so I can't even tell him like why I'm crying or whatever. And he's just like, it's okay. And he's like blind because obviously like
Mhm.
something went off in his eye or something? I don't know. And I was just like, oh my god, could you imagine like obviously like there's a degree of you could probably handle it, but it's like imagine being so off guard, like just being like, oh yeah, my brother was like riding his bike and then this like bomb went off and it like blew off half his face, and you'd be like, okay, I need a minute to process that whilst you're
It puts you in their perspective, you know. Puts
Oh,
you
it was
in their
horrible,
shoes,
wasn't
and
it?
Sort of, you could only imagine, I suppose,
Mm.
to see your own brother with his face blown off. That's got to completely destroy you.
And it's just
Yeah.
like it's so bizarre as well, because it's like what you guys were just talking about, Roma, right? But at least Roma wasn't real. Like I'm looking at these people
Yeah.
and this kid is literally talking about something that actually happened, and you're like, oh, wow.
Roma was sort of real. It was based on true events. Some of
I
it.
think what made that
Yeah,
like so
you know
heartbreaking
what I
for
mean,
me
right?
is like he like acted like it was just this normal thing.
Mhm.
Like
Things
she's
and
like
stuff like
behind
that.
a camera crying, and he's just sat there like telling the story, just as if it's
he
just
did cry a bit.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
like-
you
but-
would, wouldn't you?
But it's still like, it's not like he's saying it like it's this crazy thing that's happened that was so like out of nowhere and so unexpected.
I
It's
guess
like,
it depends
it's
on
just something that happens.
circumstances of like your country as well. Like if you're in a war-torn area, and then it will be something that happens quite a lot. But I think also, I don't know how old he was actually, but maybe he obviously you never really get used to it. But I think sometimes, you know, it gets to a certain amount of like years or whatever it's happened, and you are able to tell it in a way that's kind of like not as raw. Does that make sense? Is raw the word I'm looking for? Like, you know what I mean?
kinda.
Like time has passed, so you can talk about it in a more like lucid kind of way rather than being like hysterical whenever
It's
you
like
talk about it.
things like that make you like kind of realize when you're watching it that all your problems are like nothing in
That
comparison
is
to some of the
why
people in
when
this.
that boxer bit happened, I was pissing myself. I was like, what a
Yeah.
whingy little baby.
And you got like that scene where she's interviewing the woman, I think in Bosnia or somewhere like that, and she like is talking about like sexual violence or something, and she's like, no, it didn't happen.
Oh, what? And they're like, blink twice. That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was actually insane.
She's like acting like nothing like that ever happens in there where they live, and that everything's all happy and hunky dory. Where in reality is a lot of shit going on, but she's like probably too afraid to say anything about it.
I think a big part of it was to do with, I don't know if I should say trigger warning. I'll just say trigger warning for rape.
I mean, I was going to say we've
So,
spoken a lot about
trigger
things that
warning
we
for
should
rape because
Whoops.
we might talk about it a bit. But a big part of it was about going to these different locations in Bosnia where like this ethnic cleansing had happened. They'd like corralled a bunch of people into like halls, stuff like that, or different buildings, and they had executed some mass rapes in these buildings. And you could only see, they're not showing you what happened, but they're showing you the buildings that they happened in. Some people they interview who sort of talk about it a bit. Clearly, they don't really want to go into too much
anyone
detail
wants to
with
talk
it.
about that, right?
Because it's such a harsh tone to the movie as well.
Yeah.
Especially in like the latter half, I think, where it like really goes into it, and like when you go from these different places where they put on these mass rapes, you're like, oh, okay, this is sort of the crux of what this movie is trying to go for now. Where it's not making you feel nice at all, but that's the whole point of it. But it's got such strong emotions in it, and I love movies like that where it's, you know, you don't have to make me feel really nice to have, you know, a good experience with a movie. You just need to make me feel something strong, and this definitely did. It's horrible stuff they're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's mad as well because it's like you said that we're not even going into the buildings when we're just outside. We're literally it's just empty buildings.
Just some captions saying what happened there.
Yeah, like I guess it's because it's one of those things where it's like leaving it to the imagination is probably just as worse as showing it, I suppose.
Every time a caption showed up saying like, "This is the building where this happened," you're like, "Oh, Jesus fuck!"
Oh yeah, or like ones where she like goes to the square where people just walk in. And it's like 60 million people died in this square, and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? But I found that it's gonna sound really fucked up, but I found that really interesting for some reason because it's it's kind of fucked up, but it's kind of interesting knowing that like, well, not knowing, but when you see like these places, they've all had like a history. I mean, history that you don't ever fucking want in your buildings or your context or whatever. But it's just like shit. Things like that actually happened.
Yeah.
Like actually really happened. And I didn't even know anything about the Bosnian War. Didn't know anything about it until this movie, and I learned way too much.
And in that sense, it's like a very important movie to watch, I think. I never really heard about this movie before, so I even forget how I heard about it.
The skinniest movie ever made.
The skinniest movie.
For anyone who doesn't understand what I'm talking about.
But it obviously feels very strange to like watch it in like a nice cozy flat, and you know it's on a big screen TV.
It did feel very
We're
privileged.
out there with
I'm
our
not
fucking
gonna lie.
like sweets and Tesco meal deals.
We're
And
like,
it's
eating
isn't this
sandwiches,
so
like.
terrible?
Yeah.
I get it. You know,
I think your
you're coming
movie,
at it from a place of privilege.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I think Your Movie Sucks is a huge fan of it, so it might have been in one of his like year-end lists or something.
Maybe I don't think I watched those though.
Yeah,
fair.
I'm not gonna lie. I did feel really guilty afterwards. Like, oh look, I'm just eating this. Like, I don't even know. I was eating like a sweet or something. I was like,
Right,
oh,
let's watch the
God.
donkey movie.
Oh yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
No, I felt very unsettled for the rest of the day.
I like that interview she took with the like the military guy who'd come back from a war. Who was saying that he was going to get arrested if he didn't go back to war.
Oh,
Or he
what
says,
a hero! What a political hero!
He says, "I will not go back there to kill poor people who have done nothing to us."
Yeah,
And he was a rifleman that she interviewed in Washington.
yeah, I
And
like.
he was basically saying, if I refuse to go back to war, I might go to jail.
Mm.
War in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Is there a war? And that's a big point of contention, I think, in modern day. Is like these armies, if you want to call them that, they go off to war in different countries.
No one, I was going to say, no one can see you, Max. He's doing quotations.
I'm saying it in a strange sort of way, so you understand where the quotation marks would be. But yeah, I think a lot of it is like these people go off to these different countries and basically just abuse the native people there, and you know, it's not really, they're not really fighting a war. They're just sort of pissing about and killing people. They don't deserve it. But that's why I have such a weird sort of rage, like war and all that. I'm very anti-war.
Yeah, I just think
because a lot of it is meaningless, and it there's no point to it.
Like I assume, like, I don't know, maybe there are or were some wars that were probably like at some point maybe worth fighting for in terms of like protecting the people or whatever. But yeah, now it's just gotten to the point where it's like, what we like if someone took me to, like, I don't know, Iraq or something right now and said, what is this war about? And I'd be like, I have no idea.
All of the wars that happen now are done in private unless it's being done against or by somebody who we already don't like Russia.
Yeah, like
nobody likes Putin, so that's what we know about the Ukraine-Russian war. Right?
Yeah, no, yeah, because
if America goes to war, they go to war in like the Middle East and kill a bunch of poor people.
What is
Nobody hears about what happens there, and they have to take oath of silence.
Yeah, that is true.
They don't go to jail for telling people what they've done.
Yeah, there's a lot of wars in the world that we probably don't know about.
Yeah, everyone's too fixated on the Russian war, which, to be honest, it's actually Putin's war. It's not Russia's war because Russia didn't want it.
That's a lot of the time. All it is the leaders' war. Yeah. Two leaders don't like each other, so they send their men against each other.
Yeah, it's a legacy circle jerk even, where they're just trying to get each other off. It's embarrassing, actually. To be honest.
We all know the main war is the one you televise.
True.
Always been that way.
The one that will one day be made into a movie. Or a Call of Duty game.
Starring Chris Pratt.
I'm betting Call of Duty game starring Chris Pratt. He's in everything.
I could see that happening. They had Kevin Spacey in a game once, so
they'll get Kevin Spacey again. They will.
Yeah.
Like Inglourious Basterds, where they like that guy was in the war and he made a movie about him being in the war. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I think we should make a movie about the that guy, the anti-war guy. I like him.
About him. Yeah, he's probably in jail now.
What?
Max said he was anti-war.
No, not him.
No, not me.
The one who went to war.
I
don't
remember. A movie about me.
Yeah, that yeah, we can make a movie about Max.
What a terrible movie that would be.
Max, what do you think about war?
The whole thing is just you sat there watching a movie.
No, it'll be us and our running commentary of Saving Private Ryan.
There we go.
The greatest movie ever made. No, that was a one-time event that only me and Max got to enjoy because I don't know where Chris was at that point in time.
Watching it at home, I think.
Yeah, you didn't want to come over.
Nah.
Mate, me and Max had the best time because we were hating.
That's how it be sometimes. I had a good time.
I didn't even hate it. I'll be truthful, but I got more enjoyment out of watching Max hate it more than.
I think we're getting a bit sidetracked.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cameraperson is a weird kind of movie, I think.
So it gets you thinking, innit?
It does, and it's one of those that I don't think you get to make unless you've been doing some shit or like you've been in the business for a long time.
Yeah, you have to collect a lot of data to get there.
There's no one who could do this as like a debut in terms of like their first foray into cinema. She was a camera person. That's why it's called Cameraperson.
Yeah.
She's a cinematographer.
Yeah.
You just couldn't.
So she's got a lot of footage of stuff, places she's been and people she's talked to. But I find it difficult to think about anyone who's gone out and done quite what this is without having the experience behind them, like years and years of experience, like with Chris Marker and Sans Soleil. Like he's clearly been about.
Yeah, an established, say cinematographer?
Yeah.
I was going to say like videographer or whatever, but it's the same sort of thing.
Established
Sure.
camera person.
Yeah, I felt like I was
Yeah.
going to go somewhere, and then I was like, brain completely shut off from there.
I like the
Gone.
she like sits in on a talk, I think, with some guy talking about death or like corpses, I think. And he said, when you see death, there is nothing to do but voyeurism. I was like, wow, that was raw. That was a raw line.
Yeah.
You think of that all by yourself? But that's so true, because, you know, when someone dies, there's nothing like left to do at that point because they're dead. So
Yeah.
everything that we do after that is for our own gain and benefit. You know, you could say funerals respect the dead. That's, you know, fair enough. But he's making a point where it's like they gain nothing from this. There's no benefit for them because they're dead.
It's all.
So it's all, there's nothing to do but voyeurism.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at something for the pleasure of looking at it.
I mean, I guess so, but then, I mean, in most cases, when someone dies after a funeral or whatever, what becomes of it anyway? Because you don't really, there's nothing else to do. So is that the end of it? Like, or is there like other things that I'm not thinking about? I don't know.
Maybe watch it again.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I would watch it again. I really enjoyed it.
It was quite,
I think it's...
there were points where like, I did think, is this over now? Like every clip that would go to black, I was like, is it finished? And it was like, no, not quite.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to talk about. I actually thought the worst part of this movie was when she's like filming her mum.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I only
so
just
sad.
remembered that when Max was talking about like she's been doing it for a long time and established, and I was like, wait, she's been taking videos of her mum for a really long time, and I was like, oh no, her mum, and then I was like, no, yeah, now my heart hurts again because it was right when it comes to things of like, and it sounds really messed up, right? But I don't ever expect to get like my face blown off or like become a prisoner of war or any of that kind of stuff. But I could really imagine getting something like Alzheimer's. I could, and that fucking freaks me out so much. So films like watching real people. I can't. Oh my god, it makes me
That's why you
feel-
watch something like The Father.
I won't
Same
watch
issue,
it. I will
but
not
they're
watch
not
it.
real, so it's okay.
I will not watch it. I will not. Oh, it just it fucks with me because it's like that is something I could really imagine having, and like obviously, you know, with my spicy memory issues, I actually am more prone to getting it when I'm older anyway, and I'm like, I don't even want to. There is no goddamn way. Oh no. No.
A lot of sad stuff with her mum.
Yeah, that was awful.
I do like the part where she was like talking to her in a changing room or
What,
something.
brushing her?
Yeah.
She was brushing her hair.
That was quite sweet,
nice.
actually. I quite like that.
As a tribute,
Mm.
I thought
That
they
was
had
quite
a nice
sweet.
relationship going on.
Yeah, I think it's quite a nice, like a little humbling experience. But I mean, in the sense of like, I was thinking about this when it was happening. That I was like, oh, I wonder why I don't film things more, like take more photos and stuff, because I'm like, there's gonna be one day where I'm actually like not gonna have any of this anymore, and I'm like gonna have to just look like I don't have anything to look back on. Like my friend, I'm not gonna get into the grisly details of this, but when I was in high school, one of our schoolmates died, and since then, one of my other mates went onto like this new path of like videoing things more and like taking more photos, making more memories and stuff. Because she was like, "Well, one day it's not going to be here," and I thought, "Oh my god!" Like, and I know it's been like a good 6 or 7 years, right? And I'm like, why have I only also just realised that I should probably like document more of my life and the people around me? I just don't. I don't know why. I just don't want to make people uncomfortable, so I don't just get out my camera and start filming shit all the time. But
I do.
yeah, I know. That's
that
why
a lot.
I'll come to Max and be like, "Do you have that I don't know, that video of
it
Chris
comes in
falling
handy,
down the
doesn't it?
stairs
Yeah.
or something?" I'm like, "Ah, you have it."
It
So
does
I'll
come in
grab it.
handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the time we're hanging out and you'll just randomly send a video in the group chat that I didn't even know you were filming.
Oh yeah, I'll just save it. Most of the time, I know when Max is filming because he like. It's almost like he pretends that he's not doing it, and I'm like, I can see.
Do you want
Maybe I'm just like
I've got
really
eyes.
unobservant because I never
Yeah.
notice, and I just like get a notification of like this conversation I was having with someone else.
Or you'll get a video
Mm.
of like something I shot like 3 years ago. You're
Yeah.
like, what? When the fuck did you shoot that?
I know, and yeah, these are the things that I kind of wish that I had done, but more in a sense
You
of
still
like.
can.
I mean, I know I can now, but like it's too late for the other things. But I'm like, oh man, like I don't know. It just kind of brings me back to that sort of point where I'm like, oh shit, actually, I should document stuff more because
Yeah,
that's
never
all
know.
that's going to be left, right?
We always want like an event
Yeah.
for it, like we're leading up to this event where I'm going to take a bunch of videos.
Mm.
But
shouldn't
then
have
when
to
you're
be
in
planned,
the event, you're
right?
like, I'm having so much fun at the event.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
forgotten to take a bunch of videos. I guess I'll have to remember them. But I kind of
Yeah.
worry about like taking. I mean, we're not talking about the movie, but it's sort of
It's related.
connected, you know.
Yeah.
But I do worry about like taking all these videos and photos, but like where am I going to put them in 10 years' time? Are they still going to be there? If they're all like
Yeah.
on the cloud or whatever. What if we
the
get
cloud
fucking
shuts down.
EMP'd? What if we get Blade Runner 2049 and they all get
Yeah.
erased? What do I do? Like, do I put them on like a bunch of hard drives? Something I don't know.
I think
Then
maybe,
I
I
gotta
think
carry a
maybe
bunch
you
of
should, you
hard
know.
drives around with me everywhere I go.
No, just be in your home, I guess.
Yeah, then when I move home, they'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
here's where my bunch of hard drives go with different miscellaneous videos of, I don't know, because there are some weird videos I've got. Just like,
I was just thinking
there
of
is
the
some
Reed
weird
montage,
shit.
to be honest.
Yeah. You'll put the hard drive away and like forget about it, and like 30 years later you'll find it and just sit
Yeah, but
there.
that's one thing that I loved
watching it all.
growing up was raiding my parents' wardrobe because they used to have like a big box of just they're not Polaroids, what the other one called, like disposable photos, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
those. And I used to just go through them like crazy because I used to just love looking at them and being like, oh, look at Dad when he was like 30. Oh, we used to have a gold chain. Darcy ripped it off when she was 4. Ha ha ha. Like that kind of thing. And I'll go back and be like, look at me standing under a palm tree in Ibiza. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
it's
love
interesting,
having
isn't it?
like that kind of thing to
Physicality of it is
Yeah,
a good thing
and-
as well.
and the thing is, it doesn't even have to be physical. I just love the idea of being able to go back to it and being like, oh my God, that was
Mm.
a thing.
But these movies endure, you know,
Mm.
so why not everything else to a certain
Yeah.
extent?
Yeah.
You know, this movie I think is probably going to go down. It's fairly new, 2016,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
think it's going to be one of those classic ones. I feel.
What, you get found
Like-
one day, maybe?
well,
I say
like-
found
I
because
don't know.
I don't know
Quite-
where
It'll,
you
It'll
even
like,
manage
probably
to find
always have like an underground following, but
Yeah. Sign me up, Bowie. I'm one of those.
Mm.
One of those to follow this movie.
to be fair, going on Letterboxd, it has like quite a lot of people have seen it from
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
I was surprised I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
I've
same.
heard
No.
of Kirsten Johnson's other movies that Dick Johnson is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about that. I'll
So
definitely have to check
one
that
was
out.
on Netflix, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I say that
Mm.
because I have seen, but I just liked when Max brought out this, like, I'm telling you guys, it was the skinniest little DVD cover, man. It was like,
Mm.
literally, I didn't even know it was even in there. He was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't know if you weren't
having
looking for
trouble
it.
trying to find it. It's like if you ever collected the the Daily Mail back in the day and they give you the free CDs,
Yeah,
you know,
I
the
used to love
thin
that shit.
cardboard, it was like that.
Used to get some great CDs in there.
Mate, I've got a picture of Domino somewhere, my old rabbit, and he like used to like because they made a card, he used to take them out and like eat them.
Mm.
But I got loads of like photos of stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not particularly bold. You couldn't pick it out, I don't think.
No, I didn't even know it was in there, to be honest. Like I was literally staring in the area that you had picked it out from, and I was like, oh, I didn't even see it.
Oh shit! What about that guy who was like they go to like this court or whatever, and there was a guy in Texas
Yeah.
Oh, the guy who got
who was
dragged
telling
to
them
death.
about a man who was tortured and had his flesh torn off in
Yeah.
like a car.
Do you know what? That's oh man, I'm gonna sound like an actual fucking psycho in a second, but I find stuff like that so deeply interesting.
I think a lot
and
of people do.
The thing is, I feel so bad about it because in a way I shouldn't find it interesting because I'm like, this man should never have had to have died, right? He got dragged on the back of a truck for like
Well,
6 blocks or
Netflix
something.
docu-series do
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah, like
People love it.
and
Yeah, we
it's
all have
fu-
like
it's
a
fucked,
morbid
innit?
curiosity for that kind of shit.
I just think that what I found really it's another one of those things that's like it's kind of harrowing in a way because it's like I know like I can watch a documentary about it and it's based on like real things, but this is like actual footage of this man like actually like talking in the moment about
Mhm.
like he had the folder in his hand, but you can kind
They
of
don't
see
like show
bits
it.
of it,
They
but
don't
you
show
they don't
the
show it.
gruesome detail of it.
But
one
you
of
can
the, one
see
of the
parts
harsher
of it.
points was when
Mm.
they got out that massive
chain.
long chain that had to be held by 3 people
Mm.
that he was basically tied to. It was like, oh my god, you just have to infer it, and it's like
Yeah.
so like upsetting. To
And it was
watch.
like the rustiest looking chain, and I was like, that looks like something you would get like tetanus from. Like it looked absolutely disgusting, and I was like, oh my god.
So much of this movie is like watching the worst things
In
that
humanity?
people do to other humans. Oh god, it's just.
Do you know what?
It's so upsetting to watch.
That is legit it. That is
and it
legit
really makes
the
you
whole of it,
empathise with like so many of these people whose
yeah.
life experiences are so far beyond yours, and then they live a million miles away. You could never even think about going through what they went through.
And it's
they don't even want to think about what they went through.
Yeah, and it's just that's just the weird thing about me finding it interesting is just because it like these are real people and these are like real stories of things that have happened, and it's like these things are so fucked up and you never want these to happen to anybody, but like at the same time it's just you kind of get like entranced in it almost. You're like, oh, I want to hear the next bit, but you're like, you don't want to hear the next bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucked up. I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking before I get outed out as some sort of like sociopath or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just interesting. I don't know. You know.
Really interesting. It also saw a movie about her, Kirsten Johnson. I think it is because it is her movie, but it is also about sort of her own experiences with what she thinks about things. I like that she's not just behind the camera as like a conscientious objector.
Yeah.
She's talking to these people. You hear her talk to the people and interview people. I like hearing her talk about how to frame a shot. I'm like, oh, is this going to be good? We've got to get it from like a bunch of different angles, and like talking about how she's going to interview people. I find all that really interesting.
I thought it was really, really sad, but also kind of like endearing when she was talking to that lady at the abortion clinic.
Yeah.
And do you know what? That actually made me so upset.
Yeah, that did.
But like, it was like really nice to just like, because when you're on the other side of it, you know, when you watch things like I know it's not quite the same, but you know, you watch things like Louis Theroux and stuff. He is very much he doesn't really say much, like personally. He'll like ask questions, but he doesn't really get involved. But this woman's like crying because she thinks she's a terrible person for like going to this clinic or whatever. And she's like, no, how dare you say that? Like, you're not a bad person. And I'm like, you sitting on the other side going, yeah, like, because you agree with her, right? Because you're like, you know, shit happens, like, you know, like, it's whatever. Because she's like putting herself like so down about the fact that like, it's kind of like an ethical morality kind of thing, isn't it? It's like, sure, you're going to feel bad, but you're doing what's best for you and this kid that doesn't actually doesn't exist. No, that sounds horrible.
We get it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know, like, if you're on the other side of it, you just want to be, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to hug her in a way. It was kind of, it's hard to explain because, like, obviously I've never been in a situation like that, but like, as someone who probably could carry children, you never want to be put into a situation like that. So it's kind of like, I don't know, like, I just felt so horrible for her. Because like, there are going to be people that are going to be like, oh, why would you ever do that? Like, God gave you this, or you know what I mean? Like, why squander human life or all this kind of shit? But I don't know. I just like the fact that she did get involved, and she was like, no, it's fine because, you know, people are people. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it feels weird even talking about the movie in and of itself, but like, we're putting on our fucking critic hats and be like, oh, this movie was this. Like, but at the same time, it's like, look at what you're being shown. And it's like, who fucking cares? Like, in the grand scheme of things.
Oh yeah, like,
it's like, oh god, I almost don't want to give it a rating.
Yeah.
Like,
no, this is it. I don't.
There's so much real shit happening.
Yeah,
in
like,
here.
I don't think if I don't. I only rated it purely based because, like, I've always had this rule, right? If I'm not watching a film for the podcast, I don't rate it most of the time because I don't give a shit. You know, I don't want to. And I kind of didn't want to rate this either because I was like, oh, this is like, I'm quote unquote rating the stories of real people, and I thought, oh, which one's more interesting, the guy who got murdered or you know, the kid who lost his brother, or do you know what I mean? Like, I just thought, oh, this is fucked. I just don't want to.
I guess I think more about how it was cut together.
Well, okay,
like,
well, there's me talking.
That felt a bit more real than that one. I don't know.
To be fair, we've not really, like, this discussion, we've not really like critiqued the movie. We kind of just
I was just
talked
talking about
what
things that happens,
and like that's like evolved into different conversations, which I think is like some of the most like kind of what makes films like this so interesting is that it can create these conversations.
Yeah.
No,
like,
I'm not really trying to criticize it. I just think it's like an interesting piece.
Yeah, that's why I like doing these sort of like kind of documentaries.
Now I really
on the podcast
don't want to rate
sometimes.
it because I kind of want to stick to my guns now.
More documentaries.
It is, yeah.
no,
it is
I
good
love
to
a
talk about
documentary. I really
every
do.
so often.
I really do.
Yeah, we've only done a couple so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 maybe.
More.
Yeah, I think we
More
should have more.
documentaries.
Yeah. I'll bear that in mind for the next 3
When I
films.
thought EO was a doc.
Yeah, well, we'll get on to that. We'll get on to that.
Are we going to rate this one?
I don't want to now. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not going to. If you guys want to, you can. But I don't want
One
to.
final
now.
thing. I like when she was interviewing, well, she was just talking to this guy who was in the military
Mhm.
on the side of the road, and then he's got like loads of watermelon, and he was like, do you want some watermelon? She's like, yeah, I'd love some watermelon. And then his troops come along, and they pick him up in the car. And he has to get into the car, and he shouts to her, eat the watermelon. It's all yours now.
I just remembered what you were talking
great.
about. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I just had this like image of watermelon in like a wheelbarrow or something.
No. It was just like on a cloth on the side of the road.
Oh, I don't. I think I imagined this watermelon bitman because I don't even know.
Oh, the part where she gets driven to that prison for Al Qaeda supporters.
Yeah.
Oh god. And they just
Wait,
sort of like
what?
film the outside of it. It was like, yeah, I just wanted to film that. They didn't know if they were like going to get told off for it, but that was already interesting.
Yeah.
Is that the Guantanamo Bay?
No, it was another
The bit
part.
with the
But the
red
part where she goes
barriers,
to
was it?
Guantanamo
Yeah.
Bay, it was like, oh man, you think you're going to see some fuck shit, but obviously they're not going to let her in to film a bunch of stuff.
Still, it
What's
looks
going on
like really fucked up. I don't know if I've ever seen
Yeah.
like a picture or anything of it. I didn't
No,
No,
realize
it's
it
one
was
of those
like that.
places that like.
What did I say? There's like if she was like filming the tents, and they were like,
yeah.
don't get too many tents in the shot.
Oh yeah, you can only have 3 tents.
You can only
in
have
this
3
shot.
tents in the shot. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was quite like a weird one. I thought, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like why let her film it in the first place?
Just the giggles, the inference.
Yeah.
Mm.
Rating then?
Let's rate it. Yeah.
Out of camera people.
No. God damn it. Out of watermelons.
Okay.
What?
Everything else is too sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. You can't write out
What am I-
anything else.
Bosnia? No thanks. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I guess I give it like a 7 out of 10. I didn't like have a really great time with it.
Well, no one did. Newsflash.
Obviously
Nobody
intentionally, but there were a few bits where I felt it dragged a little bit, which I think brought it down for me. A few bits I didn't
That is
really
true,
have
I would
much
agree with
interest
that.
in.
Right, don't know why I said watermelons if you weren't going to say it.
Watermelons.
Okay. It's really good. I like it a lot. I'd watch it again. I love documentaries like this that are just like sort of slice of life from different people's perspectives. Not in that kind of way, but it's like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it has no concrete narrative, but I do enjoy those kinds of things. And I think it's cut together pretty well. It doesn't outstay its welcome overly long, but I was at a point towards the end where I was like, when is this going to end? And it's just super interesting. And I hope it rewards a second watch. I'll give it
Nice.
8 watermelons out of 10.
See, now I feel like I shouldn't rate it, to be honest.
Do what you want.
From an objectively only filmmaking standpoint, I'm gonna give it 8 watermelons out of 10.
Cool, but really no rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had the
We're all
choice,
really
it would.
no
It wouldn't
rating,
be rated at all because
No,
it's just
no
not fair,
thanks.
is it?
Cool.
Sorry, now I'm just staring at the Wikipedia entry for my movie, which I thought, guys, was a documentary.
No.
No idea why. I think it's because when I saw it in the Oscars, I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds dumb, right? When I saw it in the Oscars, I thought the category was Best International Documentary. So, like,
Oh.
I legit thought it was a documentary, and obviously I'm now looking at it. I say now looking at it, when we were watching it, I went, I thought this was a documentary,
Yeah.
and it's like the fucking donkey in the circus, and I was like, okay, this is clearly not.
And you were like, I didn't know Bardo was a documentary. What won that?
All Quiet.
That was a weird documentary. I don't know how they got those shots. I don't know how it looks so clean.
Yeah,
Fucking
but
Edward Berger's a genius, clearly.
yeah, I learned very.
I'm
very
amazed he's still
quickly
alive.
after filming that scene by scene. But
Pretty distasteful to put all that music in it.
but my not
Fucking weird Batman-esque music. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
But okay, my non-documentary movie, EO from 2022. Do you know what? I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not going to say this director's name because I think I'm going to butcher it so badly.
Do
I
it.
don't think I
You
can.
have to.
I don't.
It's respectful.
I don't think I can.
You have to. Do it.
Hold on. That's not very helpful to me at all. I thought Wikipedia was going to give me like a phonetics. I think it's
Go on.
Jerzy
Yeah.
Skolimowski. I think.
I'd say
Jerzy
yeah.
Skolimowski.
Okay, I thought I was going to
that's
fuck.
what I'd say.
Jersey.
Okay, I thought I was going to fuck that up. Well, I did, but
I think it looks
worse.
more complicated than it is his name.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what I'm like. Because I get nervous.
Yeah,
Every single week I have to talk about movies, right? But the second it's my turn to talk about the movie, I start freezing up because I don't want to fuck up the names. I don't want to ruin it. But here
I
I
really
am.
wish people cared enough about my name to worry if they got it wrong or not. But I don't think they do.
No,
Yeah,
they
some of
just
your
pronounce
closest
it wrong.
mates can't even pronounce your
I
last
was at the
name.
hospital the other day and just like the confidence with which they shouted out my name
What,
completely wrong.
wrong?
was quite astounding. I had to correct them. So, first of all, don't say it with that much gusto.
Yeah,
You're
you
not right.
confidently
Yeah.
incorrect is the word. Yes, made by that lovely man, Jerzy. I like the name, by the way. And apparently it's based on another movie from 1966. But anyway, it follows the life of a donkey.
Yep.
That's pretty much it, really. It follows the life of a donkey who's been freed from a Polish circus and then goes on to do many a thing
Just going around.
until we see the end of the movie.
He's walking around. He's having a time.
Yeah, the thing is, there's not a lot for me to say without basically ruining it because it basically is one of those movies where it's like, donkey does A, B, C, D, E, film ends. You know,
Yeah.
like, there's not a lot for me to say.
It is a strange backstory for Shrek's beloved companion.
EO, played by 6 donkeys, by the way.
Or Jenny.
What?
Jenny
from Banshees.
Yeah. What do you mean, or Jenny?
Be her. She's a donkey.
I don't think it's her.
Jenny?
Came back to life.
They took her from Ireland.
Oh.
They shipped her to
Oh,
Poland.
Jenny.
They were like, you're going to Poland because they need another donkey for EO.
Was she at the Oscars?
What, Jenny?
There was a
Yeah.
donkey
There was a
there.
donkey
It probably wasn't Jenny.
No, I was just wondering
paraded
whether
her
there was a
around.
donkey there or I made that up in
That's,
my own head.
Yeah, one of the worst parts about the Oscars.
Oh, what? Having the donkey
Yeah, let's
there?
put a donkey in here. Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious?
Animal
hey, here's
abuse,
a movie
baby.
we're not going to give any awards to.
Hey.
In it, not even like an award for like the cutest donkey.
Yeah.
Because there was like,
Cutest
At
donkey
least one
goes
donkey.
to...
There'll be like 2 nominations.
Yeah.
actually, there'd be 6.
Surprised there's even one.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's good.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
But it was quite interesting.
Yeah, I thought it
To
was
a
alright.
point.
Yeah.
To a
Yeah.
point, it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
But it is, what, an hour and 40 or something?
No, it's not even an hour and a
It's like
half. It's 88
80,
minutes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even then.
Feels like an hour 40.
It
to be
kind of
honest.
does
does,
feel
to
like
be
an hour
honest.
40.
Yeah.
Just, because the
Um,
donkey doesn't talk. And I...
How much better or worse would the movie be if it was like Space, but is it Space Buddy or whatever? Like
What?
the
Well, like the
That's
Airbud movie.
Airbuds.
Airbuds.
That's it. That were like you turn to the horse and they'd be like, "Oh my god, man, God, this barn is so shit."
That would have been the greatest plot twist ever.
Yeah.
If, like, right at the end,
Well, he just speaks.
when EO is, like, going through with the cows, just like, for fuck's sake.
See, I refuse to believe what is being believed.
Yeah.
I walked home and Chris was like, "Oh, I really didn't like it when EO dies at the end." And I said, "No, he
What?
doesn't.
He doesn't die.
I
What do you
refuse.
mean?
I refuse to
he was
believe."
just taking a stroll.
I refuse to believe.
through a maze of it looks remarkably like a slaughterhouse, but they don't say it.
What
EO
gave
in
it
that
away?
scene was how I felt walking to Becky Hill or Victoria.
So you did get stunned with a gun at the end of it.
I felt like it.
You are the animal activist's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my god, vegan alert.
Becky Hill was
Hill.
my EO. Oh god, Jesus.
Man, the people of EO weep.
You're gonna watch this donkey go through unimaginable levels of just horror that a donkey should never be subjected to.
Yeah.
Christian have been subjected to Becky.
Much in the way that we had to brave the causeway that was the Becky Hill performance of Victoria Festival. EO goes through some similar tribulations.
Very similar, yeah.
But, because EO didn't talk, I didn't really care about him. Not to say,
That's
like...
true, I cared about him.
Yeah, I cared about him.
No,
I thought
He was cute.
Yeah, whatever.
He was played by 6 Donkey.
Well, exactly. And every time you swapped out the donkey, I was like, oh, there's another donkey I've got to invest in again.
That is true.
You can
Some of
hide
them
it from
didn't
me,
look
but
like the
obviously
other.
not.
Yeah.
There's no, just make it talk, man. I don't know. Just do something.
I do
It's
think
like-
it's very repetitive.
It is
It
very
is,
The
repetitive.
film
yeah,
is
yeah,
basically
yeah.
just like this loop of like
Yeah.
EO going to a new owner, something
Every
shit
2
happening to that owner, and then EO going to a new owner.
That is
Would you
literally the whole
consider
film.
the football hooligans that he runs into on that pitch, who take him into a party, his owners?
That bit was actually the most interesting.
Oh, look, there's
to
a
me.
donkey here. Yeah. They take him into this rec room
Yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, like the
He walks
after.
out. And that was one of the funniest parts of this movie was when the rival team come to beat up the team that won and celebrated so much, and they got into a car, and as they were driving off, they see EO in the field, and they were like, "There's that donkey!" And they get out, and they were like, "Kill it!" And they start beating it up. I was like, "That's so funny! That's so fucking funny!" That's what they say. There's the donkey. Let's fuck it up.
That
Yeah,
was
that-
so good.
That probably was the most interesting part, even though I was like, could you imagine actually being a person that sees a donkey on the road and goes, do you know what? Fuck that donkey. What the hell? It seemed like
You're the reason we lost.
such a weird.
Great. And that guy who she gets towed by a fire engine who just leaves her tied to a post, and then that guy comes around. I guess he was a football supporter, and he was like, "What if I set you free?" And he unties her,
Oh, yeah.
unties him, and he's like, "Anarchy rules!" And he runs
Yeah, I
away.
liked him. He
It's
was
like,
funny.
what?
I liked him. Oh my god. Everyone
What's that?
on the pod, that is Kai.
Yeah,
Kai!
there we go. New guest coming along. Hello.
Whoa,
All
this
right.
is the most people we've had on the podcast in ages.
Yeah, there we go.
He's much a silent
here.
partner these days.
He is here. How's it going?
He says not too bad.
Going well?
I'm trying to translate for everyone.
We're just talking about EO,
Yeah.
the donkey movie.
You seen the donkey movie? You should. We're gonna ruin
It's
the
something,
donkey movie.
it's something there.
aren't
It's something. Well, I don't know if you can ruin it.
we? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
we've said all the spoilers already.
Yeah. Well, spoilers, but spoilers for what? He walks around a bit.
Yeah.
He does. He walks around a lot, and I'm surprised he's not tired.
Isabelle Hubert shows up at one point.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What, the Countess?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
hell was that?
Was she?
That was
his,
mad.
Was she
That was
his
the
mum,
weirdest bit.
or his
I
lover,
don't
or
know.
what? I was so confused by.
I,
What was
I
going
think
on.
it's you're meant to think it's his mum, and then it's a twist that
Yeah, I
they're
was
actually
confused.
lovers.
And then nothing ever came of it either. It just ended. That
No,
was like a
that's how I
segment.
feel about this whole movie.
Yeah.
to be honest.
Literally like that.
It's pretty
Very well
symbolic.
made, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
symbolic.
It doesn't
but-
really have any arc. It just kind of
No.
just repeats, and then suddenly you just have the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was no third act low point,
Yeah.
right? Third act? Yeah.
Yeah, when he
Second
got
act,
beaten
Second
up.
Yeah, there is.
Is there?
When he gets beaten the shit out. That's a low point if there ever was one. they say that's that donkey. Let's fuck it up. That was pretty low. Oh my god.
And then he's like in that like animal hospital, and there's that janitor that's like talking about putting out of his misery.
Do you know what I was just thinking about? You know, there's we were talking about that person who goes on Letterboxd and talks about the vegan trigger warnings. I was just thinking, right, when the guy is in his van and he's with that woman and he's like, I have Polish cheese.
Yeah. Want some Polish cheese? Yeah, you do.
And he's like, I've eaten 50 million kilograms of meat.
Yeah.
She loved that movie.
Did she?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But her vegan alert is like,
her
massive.
vegan alert is
Extensive.
massive. See, Kai's laughing because he's like, I know the vegan lady and I love her. He doesn't.
reference to salami is one of them.
Yeah.
I like the one where it's like
Donkey crying.
See, I only looked it up because those were there were those animals in the cages that kind of look like fennecs, and I was like, is that a fennecs? And I was trying to look it up because I thought if anyone's gonna know, it's gonna be the vegan lady,
yeah, it was
right?
a weird one.
And it just says animal shot, and I went brilliant.
Yeah.
No context.
They were just
to it.
animals.
Yeah.
If there was anything that was like, that's just an animal, it was them.
Yeah,
It was those
all
like
of them,
fennec
it was,
fox sort of dog-looking creatures.
Yeah, they literally. I'm pretty. Do you know what? If I looked up a fennec now, I reckon that's exactly what it would be.
I don't think it's that. It was too long,
Do you think?
or it was too weird. It looked like it looked like a weird creature.
Yeah, I think
But,
you
like,
might be right.
It looked like that guy from Neverending Story. That he rides through the air.
Yeah, it kind of looks
Yeah.
like some weird bush baby type creature, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a fennec fox.
Yeah. So it's no, it definitely isn't this.
No, it wasn't them.
But it looks
It was
similar.
weird. Do you like when EO like kicked that guy in the face and like basically killed him? And
Yeah,
he was
that
like,
was
"You're
great.
free,
I enjoyed
foxes."
that.
But obviously they're not free because he can't like. That's where I wanted
Do you
him to
know
talk
what,
as well.
Maybe that's gonna.
You're like, that's it. Get out of here.
Maybe that's gonna be my thing is to try and find out what animal is in. This
You'll never
movie.
know. Maybe they weren't even real.
Oh, it actually says he kills foxes.
Okay.
So yeah, they
Well,
were
that
foxes.
was a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah, I know.
I
Sorry.
refuse to believe those are foxes. Oh, they're not. Come
Apparently they were. Apparently.
on. No. Fox dogs.
Fox dog.
I'll accept that.
Okay, fox dog works for me.
But like all the camels.
Oh yeah.
Have a bit of camels.
Camel.
Yeah. Just show up, I guess. I guess they got
Mm.
camels in Poland. That was strange. Of all the places
Of all
you wouldn't
those
expect to find a
camels.
camel. What the fuck? Dear. Every time they like shoot, like he was in a metal field, like a metal scrapyard. This is awful. I would hate to be there. I would not wish it upon
Yeah.
my worst donkey.
I love how I just
Never
went
go to a metal scrapyard.
IMDb and it's like follows a donkey with melancholic eyes.
He does. But all
They
donkeys
do.
look depressed, to be fair.
They do. I'll be honest.
Yeah, and they play to that strength with gusto, with
Yeah.
real panache.
Panache. I like that.
Is there really actually that much to say about this movie?
No, that's why
it
I'm
has
like.
nothing going on.
I'm just.
It's just the same thing for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Less,
it
less
is, to
than.
be honest.
But for all intents and
Yeah.
purposes, pretty well made.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that is true. There's no.
And it has some funny moments.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
give it to
can't
the
be.
movie. It has
And a
some funny
cute
fucking
donkey.
scenes.
Yeah, yeah.
They're pretty cute.
I love that. There's a user review who's written, "You follow EO, pronounce it so that it sounds like a donkey."
Yo. Yeah.
I love that. What a great review. 16 people.
Yeah.
Mm. But of all the places it could have ended, I was never like, oh, this is where it'll end. Ending threw me for such a loop. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like so out of
Sure.
nowhere.
But I feel like
It's
that-
just like walking with a bunch of cows.
Yeah, like was that like the only way it could have ended though? Like, oh, you see what
Mm.
happens? We don't treat the donkeys right. We don't treat
Come
the
on with this
cows
like, yeah,
right.
like text at the end, like, we love donkeys. Donkeys are awesome. Animal abuse is wrong. That's why we made this film. I was like, you can't put that at the end of your movie and be like, yeah, this was actually awesome. You can't do that.
That
Yeah.
is true. And yeah, it's like no animals were harmed in the making of this. Tell that
Of
to
course
Vegan
not.
Alert. She
You
wasn't
know.
having none of it.
Tell that to Vegan Alert. They are on it like nobody else is.
Do you know what would be like a really amazing sort of like curveball is if
If they
vegan
just
lady
killed
just
a bunch of donkeys
Oh.
in this. They were like, we got to the end of this movie all about this donkey.
we're just like
Clearly,
no.
the filmmakers love so much. You can
Just
tell
find out
they
it's
love
real.
this donkey, all these donkeys that they're working with, and they love animals. It's all about that. But like, if that notification at the end didn't come up, like no animals were harmed during. If it just came up with like a lot of animals were harmed during the making of this movie, you'd be like, what the hell? This was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Those bastards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I love that shot where like it goes. It suddenly sometimes it'll go to like it'll turn red for some reason. I don't know
Yeah.
why
oh
it
yeah,
turned
very
red all
very
of a sudden.
dramatic.
Every
you
so
know?
often it'll turn red. But there was a shot. It was like an aerial drone shot that like went through just like trees, and then it was all red, and it went through these trees, and we were like, whoa, what the fuck? Why is this happening in this movie about a donkey? And then it like goes on to like a wind turbine, and it like follows the wind turbine around, it like twists around like 360-degree motion. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? That was insane. And then it never happens again. And nothing like that ever happens again. You're like, what? Why did that happen then? It was like, it's such a good shot.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Fair enough, though. Like, whatever. I
Fair
enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it did.
Woo. Oh man.
I just don't know why a lot of it had to be in red.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
maybe it's just symbolic, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, red for the
the
war-torn
donkey.
innocence
The
of
colour of the
donkey
donkey.
kind. The colour of the donkey. That's what happens when you
Yeah.
spill the blood of a donkey.
Yeah. And a lot of other things.
True.
Did you really think that, like, when that guy found EO and he was like, I'm taking you now. They go into the van. They go to Isabelle Huppert. They go to Isabelle Huppert. You were like, well, you're not like, you know what? He's really going to make a go of it now. He's got grass. It looked all so nice.
Yeah, that's true.
And he still decides to leave. That was something, because I guess the insinuation was that when they cut to a memory, I guess, in a flashback
Yeah.
of this woman who was working with EO at the circus who really loved him. I guess the insinuation was they were trying to make us feel like the donkey wanted to go back to her.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like the oh yeah, I felt like it was a little bit it was trying to like gaslight me a little bit because they were like adding in
Yeah.
crying noises
That's why,
of
like,
the
yeah,
donkey.
that's why, like,
yeah.
it was in like this lovely, lovely place. It was all like light, grass everywhere. Then like it does this flashback to like her being like, "I love you, EO. You're my favorite donkey." And then he like walks out of the place, and, like goes on his way. I was like, "What do you mean? Like, that's not what he was thinking. You made him do that?"
Yeah, this is literally just manipulation.
I know we're not working with a
tactics.
documentary here, but it's like that's so stupid. What the hell? Of all the shit that he went through, he's like, now I'm in this
Yeah.
lovely place, all the grass I could eat. Fuck this place.
I kind of miss the circus.
I miss the circus life. The circus life is the only life for me. I am a
Yeah.
circus donkey at heart. Oh, fuck off.
I like these really like almost GCSE worthy like interpretations of the film because I just typed in EO film red and
Oh,
it's like
please.
director hopes the antagonist will inspire something and it's like
What?
yellow.
Antagonist?
Yeah,
What antagonist?
the donkey, I guess he's the antagonist. Right?
He was his own worst enemy at the end of the day.
That's it.
Took him away from Isabelle
it says
Huppert and all that nice
protagonist.
grass.
I'm so stupid.
What? You read it wrong?
Of course I read it wrong.
That's insane.
Anyway.
Maybe you need to do the English cats.
Maybe. No, I was just laughing at the bit where it's like, the yellow represents jealousy and the reds is for danger. And I'm like, well, come on.
Yellow?
Apparently there's, that's what it says. It's like the yellow
What
part
yellow?
of this film.
The yellow part of this film. What? I'm sorry. What does that mean?
Oh, now I've got to go back and find the bit where it said it.
And,
It just
again,
says yellow symbolises jealousy, a dominant theme. Red represents danger, but I can't
I'm sorry,
find it in the article.
without the
now.
context of this movie. Since when did yellow represent jealousy?
Hold on, I need to try and
what
find
the fuck
it in this
could
article.
a donkey be jealous of?
I need to find it. I
He's
can't.
jealous that he's not a human.
I can't find the colour yellow in the article itself now, but I'm gonna try and find it so I can see what it means.
If you can show me a single shot in this movie where yellow is a predominant
I found
feature.
it. It's a quote, and it's like, "I'm a painter, and in previous films I've experimented with colours. Like Jane Asher's yellow raincoat in Deep End. Yellow symbolises jealousy, a dominant theme in the film.
Is
Oh,
it?
See, we're
somebody
talking about
yellowed-
something other than
Who said
EO.
this?
No, the director said this.
Yeah, that
Director.
sounds like it's about Deep Red rather than this.
Are you sure he's talking about EO?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It says EO talks about the film's donkey protagonist to inspire more respect for human rights, animal rights.
Yeah, I think he did the opposite of human rights. Kind of.
Yeah, this
I
is,
don't know about these guys.
I don't understand this fucking article at all. That is so funny.
Well, I don't know what he was on about.
No.
This is completely recontextualized this movie for me.
I was just also thinking, like, was there any other, like...
What am I supposed to think about this movie now?
I don't know.
Yellow
Something
is a
about,
predominant theme in this movie.
something about...
Yellow.
No, it's supposed to be about animal rights. I don't know what yellow's about. He was
Okay.
just talking about the colour yellow and red.
What the hell?
Because he uses red in this movie. I think he's just talking about his other colour themes that he uses as well.
Jersey, what the hell, man? Something's got lost in translation here.
I think it's whoever wrote
There
the
was
article
not as
wrote it
much
really
yellow
badly.
in this movie as you think there was. When I think about this movie, I think about the red. The
I
bold
like-
red stuff that's
I
happening.
also like the fact that there's people on Reddit going,
The
did EO die
Reddit.
or did he Reddit?
Reddit.
Reddit.
Exactly.
Yeah, the place. And everyone's like,
It's red.
did he die? And it's like, clearly he died.
What do you mean clearly he died?
So, yeah, there's the contention about whether he actually died. And it was like, the ending was not at all ambiguous. EO was slaughtered like the rest.
Oh, that's great.
Written by someone called Screw Will Never Die.
Thanks, Screw will never die. Jeez.
Written 4 months ago.
Can
Oh
you read
my
that
God.
again? I want to hear it again.
So, Screw Will Never Die, wrote 4 months ago. Yeah, the ending was not all ambiguous. EO was slaughtered like all the rest. They just didn't want to show violence against animals on screen.
I mean, that's obviously not true because we see him get kick the shit out of. So, you know that. Sorry, Screw will never die, but you got that one wrong. It seems like
actually-
everyone's getting everything wrong about
actually-
this movie.
If Chris is, do you know what? I might screenshot this so I can send it over because it was so good.
Oh, I won't remember to do that.
No, I just want it for our reference. I want you all to see beautiful Screw Will Never Die's comment.
Christ alive.
I'll use the screenshot of that comment instead of the poster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
Do we have anything else to add
No.
to EO?
Oh, I'm
No.
sorry, no, I'm just chatting shit now.
Well, what are you going to rate this one out of then?
Phoenix.
I was going to rate it out of Anarchy Rule, but okay.
Fennec it is.
We didn't even know that there were Fennecs. I don't even
yeah,
think
but
they
we
were.
discussed it. That's why I'm picking it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's quite an
That sums it up.
yeah, it's quite an
Oh my god, we've
interesting
actually
movie.
lost the plot.
I enjoyed it. It drags a little bit, considering it's like 80 something minutes. It's not a
88
good thing.
to be
Um,
precise.
I've also like forgotten a lot of this movie. Like discussing it now, I like remembered it,
Mm.
but I've not like thought about this at all since it finished.
No,
Me
me neither.
It's a good movie. I give it 7 Fennecs out of 10. I forgot my own rating system then.
Sorry, I actually can't stop reading that comment.
Yeah, all of the above, everything that we've said. That's why. That's why. 7 Fennecs out of 10. Watch it. Fuck it. Just what? It's a good movie. It's a fucking weird one now that I'm thinking about it a bit more.
To quote my favourite comment, EO was slaughtered like all the rest. 6 Fennecs out of 10. I can't stop.
Yikes.
We did it.
I thought you'd come out of this one being like, Donkey movie was amazing. I love Donkey.
Yeah, same.
I do love donkeys, but I didn't love this movie. truth be
Didn't
told.
love EO.
No. Don't you dare, because he never
loved
died.
EO
He never died.
And his 6 split personalities.
Because they didn't want to show violence against animals.
Not true. That's not true.
Why is that comment so good?
They did want to show it. That's the whole point of the movie. Was to Like, yeah, this happened. Cool. So that's that. We ended on that note, and I guess you take from that what you will. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
For episode 122. We're gonna do what we do it at the end of every episode. We're gonna spin a wheel. It's gonna tell us what bullshit we're gonna have to stagger our way through for the next one. What do we got?
Robert Bresson movies.
Who's that?
I don't
What do
know.
Wait, did we do a director one recently? Robert Bresson.
Who?
Is he a director?
Kai's nodding.
Yes, he's a
Right,
director.
Kai, come and educate us, please. Look at
Yeah,
him. He's
fuck
staring at me like he's very good, very
He's
good.
very good. 10 out of
very
10.
good.
We'll do that.
He even
do
did the
that
little
then.
finger
Robert Bresson.
thingy.
Oh, I've actually really wanted to get into it.
Awesome. Never heard of him. We're gonna pick 3
Never heard of him.
Robert Bresson movies. Look in the description to see what those are, I
Yeah.
guess. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Social media, go and follow those. YouTube, The Sunday Movie Marathon. Please subscribe, please. Instagram is at Sunday Movie Pod. Twitter is at Sunday Movie Pod. Facebook is at Sunday Movie Marathon. Letterboxd is at Sunday MM. Capital S, capital MM. That really needs more of an uptake. You guys are sleeping on the letterbox, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Yeah, watch Rye Lane. I wanted to do
Yeah,
a
that
quick
film was
thing of
great.
it, but I completely forgot.
Ah, shit. You want to do a little thing on Rye Lane?
No,
Nah, we'll do it next episode.
No,
we got to attend to the.
We'll do it at the end of the year on the year-end special.
fuck me. Yeah, just wait out.
Yeah,
and
go
then,
watch it. It's a really cute
Look
Watch
after
Rye
your
Lane.
look after your Phoenix, everybody.
debut from a British director as well.
Don't
Love
beat
to
up
see that.
donkeys.
Go watch the British equivalent
There
of
was-
Before Sunset
So
for
many.
losers. In a heartwarming kind of way. Thanks.
What, Rye Lane?
Yeah, Rye Lane.
No.
It was like Before Sunset, but for losers.
Oh well.
If they were just complete weirdo losers.
Oh, I liked it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I don't know why I slammed that.
See you next time.
Bye, Phoenix.